Welcome back, trainers. So there has been quite a fascinating find regarding Mewtwo and the new update for Pokemon Go. So seeing that this was one of the most popular Pokemon at one point in time, and it still is quite a very good Pokemon to use, it's just kind of lost its spotlight seeing that we have all these events and updates and new legendaries coming in. So let's see if Mewtwo is about to get revived. So very briefly before we get started, I want to say that this is speculation. So how Mewtwo received his armor was, first of all, it was created from Mew as DNA. They created him in a lab. He became self-conscious and aware, destroyed the lab in anger after this dream that he had, which has been kind of cut out from the main movie. And then Giovanni approaches him, kind of manipulates him, puts him into this armor. And also take note that Giovanni did fund this whole operation to create one of the most powerful Pokemon because, you know, gangsters in their power, right? So he goes on to manipulate him, put him in this armor. Mewtwo becomes aware that Giovanni just wants to use him for his power, and then eventually says, I'm good and I'm out of here. So that's pretty much the gist on the armor. So with that said, we're over here on Trell's Twitter. Let's go ahead and take a look at why we're even discussing this. So what he found here is Mewtwo A equals 133, Mewtwo A intro equals 134, Mewtwo normal equals 135. So what could this possibly mean? Are we going to see Mega Evolution Mewtwo coming into Pokemon Go as the first Mega to be introduced, seeing that it was the first EX raid? Not likely, but possible. This could be an entire different thing from what we're even seeing here regarding armor, Mega Evolution. It's just speculation and fun to talk about here and something to think about, because if we do get this, this is going to be quite exciting. Now, is Mewtwo armor form going to be some sort of game-changing thing? Well, as it is, Mewtwo is fantastic. I think what it would do is probably just increase its defense. As far as its attack, well, what it did when he was wearing that armor supposedly was help him focus that power. So he might just receive an increase in attack as well as defense. Who knows? It might even lower his attack because, you know, Giovanni was probably lying to him the whole time and it didn't really help him focus his power. More so just suppress it so that he will be able to manipulate him even easier. So with that said, there we have it. Could we see them coming into Pokemon Go? Ooh, that would be something else. So just keep your eyes peeled. We'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for this. Now, to support the Mewtwo armor deal coming into Pokemon Go just a little bit further, we did have the announcement of Pokemon Sword and Shield, which has been speculated to have possible armored Pokemon that we have yet to see in the Pokemon universe yet, such as this Charizard here, which is not an actual image from the game whatsoever. It's just a very well done piece of art for sure. So that could be a coincide deal, kind of promoting Sword and Shield as well as the announcement of the Mewtwo Strikes Back movie, which we will see Mewtwo in its armor probably briefly because, well, in the first movie we saw it like that, and this is basically a remake, but this time around it's going to be with 3D graphics, and this is going to be an image pulled from one of the trailers that we will be seeing shortly in this Pokemon movie. So we can only hope that we're going to get this. Well, I mean, personally for me, I would love to see the armored Mewtwo because that is pretty cool. It would bring back quite a bit of nostalgia. So who knows? We'll just have to see what happens with this deal here. I just wanted to put all the dots together and give you my speculation and why I think this may be coming into Pokemon Go fairly soon. Alright, now we're over here on Bulbapedia. We're going to take a look at Mewtwo Y, Mewtwo X, and the regular Mewtwo stats and do a little comparison to give you just a little bit of an understanding on what the differences are if we were to see these come into Pokemon Go. Now, we know that the stats do not convert completely, but as far as the attack and defense and HP go, we will be able to see some sort of similarity within the game regarding that. So looking at the regular Mewtwo here, we see HP at 106, attack 110, defense 90, special attack 154, defense 90, and speed 130. So we do not have speed, nor do we have special defense or special attack. We just have defense, attack, and HP. Alright, now moving on to Mewtwo X, we do have HP at 106, attack 190, and defense at 100. And then the rest of the stats as we can see there, but those aren't Pokemon Go, so we'll just move along here. Then Mewtwo Y, my personal favorite out of all of them. It's going to be kind of like, I wouldn't say the glass cannon, but it doesn't have that much defense compared to the others. HP 106, attack 150, and defense 70. So it is going to have that lower defense, but with much higher attack and specializing in Psychic type. The other one, Mewtwo X here, is going to be a Psychic and Fighting type, so fairly interesting typing there, and it will be losing that weakness to Dark although it's not going to be completely resisting it. So there you have the stats regarding possible Mega Evolutions for Mewtwo. Actually not the complete conversion into Pokemon Go, but just a good idea for you. Alright, so with that said, let's take a look at my Pokemon here. I did go and do a raid train with some friends this morning. We got about 13 or 14 of those Giratinas in, and quite a few of the Scyther tasks. No shiny quite yet. And let's see what my best Giratina that I found today was going to be. Probably this 15, 14, 14, 96%, not bad at all. At least it has 15 in attack, so that will do. Although I do want the Luckies because that's going to be costing a significant less amount of Stardust to power up. But the candies will stay the same, so always keep that in mind as well. Will we be seeing Lucky Friends introduced fairly soon? I'm not too sure. We did get the update for iOS as well as on Android. It hasn't been forced yet, I don't think. Once we do see the forced update coming for these phones, then that's possibly when we will have a good indication as to when it's going to be happening fairly soon, as well as the new poses for your avatar as well, so also keep that in mind. With that said, let's go ahead and look at my Mewtwo. Since we're on the topic of Mewtwo, we're going to go ahead and go CP. Actually, let's go date, alright? I want to see my oldest here, recent, and we'll go like this. So Shinobi is going to be my first one caught back in September of 2017. Was quite an exciting time for sure. I had a shiny Pichu later on that night and evolved it, and talked about that a few videos back as well. So this has served me quite well. Walked 50 kilometers. I really wish that they would, or possibly in the future, add how many times you've battled in raids and or gyms with them under the description. I know you can see how many times you've used them in battle when you're actually going into gym battles themselves, but other than that, you have no idea. So that'd be a pretty nice addition if they did add that, being able to see how many times we used them in raids as well as gym battles. Maybe even PvP as well, and even wins against other Pokemon. I know that might be asking for a bit much, but hey, you gotta shoot for the stars. Anyways, this is gonna be my second one here. Caught it the same month in September, just a few days later. As you can see here, this one was caught on the 21st. And then I get another one just a few days later. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that, and I maxed it out. So this first one here is going to be okay. Let me see what its attack is at. Simply amazing, HP, defense. Wow. Okay, so max HP and defense, but the attack is lower. I completely maxed it out because, well, it's my first Mewtwo, and wow, I made quite a bit of videos regarding it as well. This is going to be my third one here, going on to catch it the next month after. Did not purchase a secondary move for any of them except for the first one because I wanted to use it in PvP, as well as having that Thunderbolt. It finds some pretty good usability, so that is going to be Plagueis there. Then we have Darko, which is going to be one of my best ones. Let me see here. We have Simply Amazing, HP, defense. Okay, that's not him quite yet. Still is maxing him out. Quite a few of them, right? Akira, that is the one that I wanted to power up for the longest time. I think it's 15 attack, Simply Amazing, defense. No, where's my 15 attack? Man, it took forever. This is a very loyal subscriber that I said I would name my next Mewtwo after him, and it turned out to be, guess what? Completely flatlined. It's strong, HP, attack, defense. Its stats don't show great. All right, so pretty much, yeah, it's 10, 10, 10, still a prize, and actually, hey, might as well. And there you go, Manhunt Ruler. Much appreciated for all the support in the past and currently as well. So we have Cyclone moving on, and I do believe this is my good one. Simply Amazing, attack. There we go, max attack. Yeah, finally was able to get one of those after quite some time. We're looking at 2018, right in summertime there, so not bad. And then just a whole bunch of other Mewtwo's caught. This was actually traded from Scarlet. Yep, we were trying to get those Luckies when that was introduced into the game, and there we go with my first Lucky Mewtwo. I do believe I have a couple of those, so much appreciated, Brian. That was a good one there. I forgot what I think I gave him another Mewtwo. I'm not too sure what it was. And then another awesome trainer from Anchorage here that I did a trade with, much appreciated. And then from Ellie, so I just kept one from each. Transferred quite a few of the others that I traded because, well, I didn't really want to hold on to too many Mewtwo's. And then this is my other Lucky. This did come from Ellie. This is going to be my XX121, you know, the alien from the movie Aliens franchise. And yeah, I know it doesn't really look like it, but I just thought it'd be fun to name it that. So it does have Psycho Cut and Ice Beam. So this is going to be my Dragon Slayer here, or possibly Ice Slayer, or should I say Grass Slayer. Then we have a 96, and then so on and so on and so on. Pretty good. So let's see how many Shadow Balls I have. Those are Ice Beam. And getting the correct moveset that you want on this thing is going to be a real pain in the butt. And Hyper Beam as well as Shadow Ball are going to be Legacy if you did not know. So hold tight to those ones if you do have one. Lucky Legacy Shadow Ball there. That's pretty nice. Another Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball. And I did not TM them when you were able to do that during that little glitch window. Whenever that happened, I did try it, but I was a little too late and wasted about 5 TMs. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I already have a bunch of Shadow Balls anyways. But come to find out, it was only lasting for about 5 minutes. That period on which you were able to TM your Mewtwo and get a guaranteed Shadow Ball with it is pretty crazy. So there you have my Mewtwo collection. Not bad, and I've transferred quite a few. So let's go ahead and hop into the Pokedex, as a matter of fact, to see the exact number that I've caught. So 107 seen, and then I've caught 96 with 2 luckies. So my stash and my collection is looking fantastic, not too far behind on my catch ratio. When it came down to just the EX raids, I was even seen to caught, but then when they did release it within the raids, then that's when it started to kind of fall behind, because I was running from some ran from me. And you know, when you do those raid trains, you don't have time to stick around for a horrible one, and you just move along. Alright, so we're over here on the Go Hub, and before I let you go, let's go ahead and go over Mewtwo really quick as far as its moves and its stats for the newer players, or just as a refresher for older players as well. So it is going to be a pure Psychic type, maxing out at 4,178 attack at a whopping 300. That's why it's just so fantastic in the game. Defense 182, we may see that rise up if we do get the armor evolution, as well as stamina at 214. So at a pure Psychic type, it is going to be weak to Bug, Dark, and Ghost, resisting Fighting and Psychic. Now let's take a look at the moves, and as to why it's going to be very hard to get the move that you want, because it has a plethora of them. So for the quick moves, it just simply has Psycho Cut and Confusion. As you may know, Confusion will grant you more energy to get off your charge moves a lot faster, but on the other hand, Confusion did receive a buff. And before it did receive that buff, I was saying, you know, Confusion is what you want to use, in which cases I did damage competitions and won using that, as opposed to the other person using Psycho Cut, which they stood by and would die by their word, saying that it's going to be better. But at the end of the day, the Confusion pulled up as the champion. Anyways, disregard that. If you do have different thoughts on that matter, you know, we'll go ahead and leave them in the comments below. But hey, it is what it is. Certain circumstances, if you're going into PvP, Psycho Cut is what you want. If you're trying to get off those charge moves, Confusion is going to be doing massive damage though, so always keep that in mind with that new buff to it. For the charge moves, we have Focus Blast, Psychic, Thunder, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam. So that those are the moves you're going to be re-rolling with your charge TMs if you're trying to get the correct moveset. And then for the Legacy, we do have Hyper Beam and Shadow Ball, so do not try to get those. If you do not have them, you're simply going to have to trade somebody who already has a Mewtwo with those. So with that said, trainers, I hope you enjoyed this video and that rundown on my thoughts regarding the evolutions and possibly the Megas. But if I had to pick and choose, I'm going to say the Armored Mewtwo is more than likely what we may be getting. But although this could literally be nothing and just simply some simple added thing for Mewtwo that we have no idea about, that has nothing to do with Megas or Armor Evolution. Anyways, with that said, traders, thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time.